Hey everyone, I'm Brian and welcome to the channel and something different today. Yes, I've got my first G.I. Joe classified series. It's the Search and Rescue Firefighter. I am primarily a Star Wars collector, Black Series for the most part. I do have a little bit of the other series as well, TVC. Of course, I have a lot of my original Kenner figures from my childhood. But it's my first G.I. Joe, at least in the 6-inch. I remember back as a kid, I had a few of the 3 3/4 figures, probably a half dozen or so. I couldn't remember which ones I had. And I'm pretty sure I had one of the 12-inch. I remember the beard, and I'm pretty sure that was probably a hand-me-down from my cousin. So anyways, long story short, I've been in the fire service for 30 plus years, and when I saw this on Hasbro Pulse, I knew I had to get it. So let me get it out of the box, and I'm going to give you a review from a firefighter's perspective. All right, so we're out of the box, and this comes with 14 accessories, and I was counting 13, and it says it has a hose. And I finally figured out this hose comes off of the mask, and it's kind of a bitch to get back on, so I've left it on there. So 14 accessories. Again, this is going to be a review of from a firefighter's perspective. So we'll start with the emergency blanket. This emergency blanket, it's kind of got the heat-resistant type material that you would find with our airport firefighters. Our blankets aren't that fancy. We just have typical blankets, or just regular tarps or something like that. So, but you would find that definitely on a fire apparatus. And this tool's got me baffled. So I know it's a hydraulic spreader, but the back end of this looks like a demo saw, a partner cutoff saw, that type of thing. So typically our hydraulic rescue tools have a power unit off to the side, and we have hoses that run into the spreaders to make them open and close. They don't necessarily have their own power unit attached. Now, is there something out there? Probably, who knows? There could be. Nothing I'm familiar with. But I kind of wish this was actually a saw, like a partner saw, instead of the hydraulic tool that this is trying to represent. So yeah, to me this definitely looks like some sort of power unit, which we would not, that would be heavier than hell. I gotta be honest with you. Probably, something that there could, like I said, it could be something out there, I don't know. But typically our hydraulic tools, again, have a separate power unit, hoses going to them, or the newer ones actually are battery. We have like DeWalt batteries or whatever brand out there that it's set up for. So again, kind of neat, but definitely nothing I got in my firehouse, that's for sure. The smaller tools here, we got our two hatchets and the smaller hammer, sledgehammer type thing. The two hatchets, I would never use these. We would never have those. I don't even think we have them on our rigs. Maybe some sort of forestry work or something. The smaller sledgehammer, definitely could find in a toolbox. But these three tools, the longer handled tools, definitely fire service stuff. So we'll start off with one of my favorite tools in the fire service. They call it a pry bar in the description, but it is a Halligan bar. This tool has been in the fire service probably for close to 100 years now. Used for forcible entry, all kinds of uses for this, different types of prying, but most likely for forcible entry. Same with your sledgehammer, very common tool that we'd find on our apparatus. And then the axe, I mean, you don't see a firefighter without the axe, right? However, this is a pickhead axe, very common for roof work. But we don't do a whole lot of that manual stuff anymore. A lot of it's with power tools and so forth. So this tool, typically we're using a flathead axe. So this pickhead is off here, and I'm actually going to take that off. So it's a flathead axe. And then we would typically marry these two tools together, similar to, if I can get this together here, like this. And this is how we would carry them. So I don't stick it in there too well, but typically we would carry our tools together like this, and we'd use the flathead as a striking tool, against our Halligan bar doing some sort of forcible entry. So I'll probably modify that. Moving over to our PPE, goggles, I wouldn't use them, so I'll set those off to the side. The fire helmet, I am so glad they went with a traditional fire helmet. There's different styles of fire helmets out there. I am a firefighter in the Northeast, New York, actually New York State. A very common style of helmet that we use. And again, I'm glad Hasbro went with this style. The SCBA mask, it looks like a combination of different, there's 4 or 5 very dominant brands of SCBAs out there, and it's like kind of a combination of a couple of different ones. Looks realistic, and again, I'll get this all together pretty soon. But the cylinder is not, the cylinder's off a little bit. This is actually a scuba cylinder, where firefighters are wearing SCBAs, self-contained breathing apparatus. Divers are wearing scuba, right, and that's underwater for underwater diving. And I know that because the PSI and these extra ribs on here, this is actually the band as part of the SCBA. Holds the cylinder in. Actually, the cylinder connects at the valve, and that straps holds it onto the kind of that backpack harness. But these ribs and stuff, this extra protection, you wouldn't necessarily find that on a firefighting SCBA. So I might try to take those off. I probably can't, but like I said, I might try to modify it a little bit to get it a little bit closer. What else am I missing? So the head sculpts. So a little disappointed here. I got to be honest with you. So the head sculpts, I mean, they don't look bad, but they got the hood already on, and we're typically not wearing our hoods unless we have our full protective package on, and we're making some sort of interior type attack with a lot of heat exposure. So, and technically, and to do this right, when you put your mask on, that strap, right, so the straps here on the mask would go over, right, and technically the hood should be over the top. So your mask would go on first, then your hood. So again, I'm nitpicking. But I wish there was a full regular head sculpt on here. I'm definitely going to do a head swap. I got to figure that out. But I will be doing a head swap on this action figure. All right, so looking at the figure itself. So again, I am happy with the helmet. I'm happy with the color coding they went with on his gear. Again, very common here in the Northeast to see black gear with the fluorescent high-vis yellow striping. There's all kinds of variations out there. I kind of wish the SCBA would come off, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, it will, but I don't want to cut it. So, so this extra, just some minor things that aren't as accurate. I guess this is, again, knowing how action figures are put together, this is a lot of reuse, and I think it's a reuse from Snowball, Snow something. I watched a couple other reviews out there. This belt would not be on the outside. This belt here on the SCBA would actually be in this place here. So this is more of a waist belt. We may have a belt underneath the jacket on our bunker pants, but you wouldn't necessarily have a double belt here. Again, there's different variations of gear out there. The shoulder pockets, not very common. I wouldn't have those. The thigh pockets would not necessarily be. Again, you can customize your gear, but you don't see it. Now the side pockets definitely side. Excuse me, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this guy. Again, I don't have I'm kind of nitpicking. Again, I'm looking at it from a firefighter's perspective. But yeah, that's my review. I'm not going to get into articulation and all that shit, but my review of the Hasbro GIJoe Classified Series, Search and Rescue Firefighters. So let me get them geared up, and I'll go grab one of my dioramas and see what we can come up with here. So here you go. I got them all together. I got them with his axe. I just was just taking some photos, different positions or whatever. I gotta think, I've had this diorama for a couple of years. I actually won. I did not make this, so full disclosure, this is not one of mine. This is something I won. I think Dave's Dimension had a fundraising auction going on, and this was built by Duffman Dioramas. So great. I've been dying to use this. I have not had. It just doesn't match the Star Wars figure. So. So overall, am I happy with this? Yeah, absolutely. Is it worth the $34.99? I don't think so. Would I buy this again? Yes, I would buy this. I would make this purchase again. Would I make another purchase? No, not at $34.99. Especially when I got to do some head swapping, some modifications, and so forth. But I would love to have a company of these guys put together. So. Yeah, half these accessories I'm not going to use. There's just a couple of the hand tools that I will use when I get these set up and put on display. But yeah, I really would like to get a couple more, but definitely not at the $34.99. So if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. Leave me a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I know I don't typically do G.I. Joe, and this is not your typical G.I. Joe. We'll be back to Star Wars stuff the next video.